All right, Grant, I got it. The low bar squat, more muscle mass, less pressure on the knee. I'm in, I'm sold. But who should high bar squat? Hey guys, and welcome back. It's Grant Broggi from the Strength Coach, and today I want to talk about when you should do the high bar squat. If you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. Yes, the high bar squat, the back squat, the thing where you put the bar high up on your traps and keep this really vertical back angle. Is there a place? Is there a time in your training? Is there a reason to do it? Let's talk about it. So here we are on the Strength Co. At this channel, we're here to do two things: help you get generally stronger to improve your health and wellness and answer questions of how to do that. And two, sell you plates and bars and collars and plate trees and whatever you need. Seriously, check out the store. But because we are generally trying to help the general normal person get strong, we have thoughts of, hey, what's an intelligent way to do that? Obviously, we want to use barbells and plates because it's incrementally loadable and it trains the whole body at once. But then when it comes down to the movements, we have ways we like to do them and ways we don't. And so when it comes to the squat, or the back squat, as a lot of people call it, we prefer the low bar position. What do we mean when we say low bar position? We mean taking the bar and putting it back behind the little bony ridge on the outside of your shoulder, which is the spine of your scapula. Putting it just below this. Why would you do that? Well, we do that because when you're squatting, one of the things you have to do is not fall over. And the way you don't fall over is by keeping the load, the weight, the bar over the middle of your foot as you go down and up. If you were to lean too far forward or let the weight get forward of the middle of your foot and it was actually heavy, you would fall over. If you were to let the weight get behind the middle of your foot and it was actually heavy, you would fall over backwards. So you have to stay in balance. This is where if you have a coach teaching you how to squat day one, it can be very useful to teach you how to do this correctly. But you can also figure it out yourself. People generally don't like falling over. So as you squat, you will do things to make sure that you don't. So if you put the bar lower on your back, it requires that you shove your butt backwards and lean over into the squat in order to keep the bar over the middle of the foot so that you don't fall. So for most people, this is the general recommendation we make when they start training. Why? Because it uses more muscle mass. There's more posterior chain involved. You get more hips, more glutes, more adductors, all that stuff, and you get less pressure on the knee, which is what you would get in a high bar squat, which we'll cover in a second. So if someone comes into the gym and they just want to get overall generally stronger, we're going to teach them how to low bar squat. All right, Grant, I got it. The low bar squat, more muscle mass, less pressure on the knee. I'm in, I'm sold. But who should high bar squat? There are people and there are times that need to utilize the high bar squat. So remember, the high bar squat, squatting high bar is still better than not squatting. So who should who should high bar squat? See, I automatically go to low bar every time. All right, person number one might be someone with super tight shoulders. They come in, maybe it's an older individual, male or female, and when they go to get under the bar, they're in some serious pain. It usually shows up in the elbows if they're really tight because the arms take too much of the load. If you got a guy like that and you're trying to get him in the low bar position, or if you're like that and you're trying to get in the low bar position, you've watched our video on how to stretch and it's still not working out, hey man, don't kill yourself and give yourself elbow tendonitis. High bar squat for a while, or buy the Mars bar, another great option. But no, you can high bar squat, it's okay. You're still gonna train hip drive. You're still going to train a lot of muscle mass. Do you need to be worried about your knees if you're training high bar? Probably not, but just pay attention. Don't let them slide too far forward, but you probably don't need to worry about it. With that said, if your goal is to overall get into the low bar position at some point, you need to make sure you're still working on getting there. So if your shoulder position doesn't allow you into the low bar, you're gonna high bar squat so that we don't cause tendonitis once the weight gets heavy. So what we wanna do is maybe go into the gym, practice that stretch, do a couple sets in the low bar position as a warm up so that you're opening this up. That's the benefit of getting into position, is that over time, if you consistently show up to the gym, you will increase that range of motion. So do that through your warm up and then go into your high bar lifting. Okay, who else should high bar squat? I got it. I don't have any shoulder issues. I see this other squat variation. Should I ever do it? Probably not, is my general thought. I generally think that just getting overall stronger and lifting more weights is gonna make you better at whatever it is you want to do. The people that are gonna advocate for this are the Ollie lifters. No, Olympic weightlifting, it's just called weightlifting everywhere. Weightlifting is the sport. Clean and jerk and snatch. That is the sport of weightlifting, but Olympic weightlifting, those movements you catch with a more vertical back angle by the nature of the movement. Think about it. The clean is caught at the shoulders. So think of a high bar squat back here on your back. It's even further forward. So your upper back or your back is going to have to be very vertical when you catch that. So weightlifters like to train the high bar squat because it more closely replicates how they're going to catch the clean or the snatch, because they're going to have that vertical position as they're squatting down. Is that good? Maybe, probably not. I generally think that if you get generally strong, then you will perform your sport better, regardless if the sport is the sport of weightlifting or baseball or football. At the same time, if you want a high bar squat because you think it replicates it, go for it. You're still going to get strong high bar squatting if you're showing up consistently, adding weight to the bar, eating enough, and all the stuff that always applies. Okay, third group of people that maybe can use some high bar squat. People that have been lifting for a while, that have actually shown up for years, and you say, I've come to the gym, Grant. I've followed your channel. I'm one of the 22,857 subscribers. I'm here for all of it. I've been squatting, pressing, benching, deadlifting. I power clean occasionally. I do my chin-ups. Grant, I'm doing the same thing over and over. What I would say to that is, congratulations, you're a lifter. This stuff's kind of boring after a while, but what's the point of owning all those weights if you don't lift them once in a while? Am I right?
You got all these dang weights. Sometimes you got to lift them.
But no, if you want to try something new, add in a high bar squat on your light day maybe. Let's say you're squatting 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday's volume, Friday's intensity day. And on Wednesday, you do 2 sets of 5 at 80% just to, grease the groove but not apply too much stress. Introduce the high bar. Try it out. See what you think. I mean, there's no problem in that. If you've been lifting for a while and you've been doing the low bar squat and you want to see what high bar's like, go for it. Just have a solid understanding that if you put the bar lower on your back, physics are going to allow you to load more of your hips and thus lift more weights. So your high bar squat is going to be lower than your low bar squat. So that's just the way it falls out. So I'm not anti-high bar squatting. Someone squatting is better than someone not squatting. So if you can't get into position, do the high bar squat. If you're a weightlifter and you want to mimic the only lifts, do the high bar squat. I don't really care. If you've been lifting a while and you need a light day, some type of variation, something to keep you sane, go do the high bar squat. For me, I'm gonna stick to my low bar. Hope this video helps. If it does, like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.